Hi guys, welcome to the Raven Wolf channel, and I'm gonna be reading the rest of chapter 7 from the Mayan Factor, The Path Beyond Technology. For all of you that are new subscribers, I strongly recommend for you guys to watch the previous chapters, because by me reading this, it's gonna be very confusing. I don't think you will be able to grasp the information starting from chapter 7. So it's in my playlist. It's the Mayan Factor, so I strongly recommend you guys to watch the previous chapters. But anyways, let's get started. So following the number of the magic square, we see the movement connecting the numbers 1 through 16 and 49 to 64 is the upper half of the grid, while the movement connecting the numbers 17, 48 to 48 occurs completely in the lower half of the grid. Applied to the equation number 1 through 16 corresponds to the prehistory numbers 17 through 48 to history, and the numbers 49 to 64 to post-history. This means that the passage of Earth through the galactic synchronization beam corresponds to the movement through the entire lower half of the 64-unit genetic keyboard. The historic technologically activated phase of genetically unfolding. When we speak of the counter spin of history coming to an end and the return spin, the final synchronization of post-history commencing, we are referring to the passage from the numbers 48 to 49. Since these 64 DNA code numbers are also correspond to the I Ching hexagrams, the passage from history to post-history is marked by the passage from the well, 48, to revolution melting, 49. But this is revolution without guns. It's revolution by Earth for the Earth. Initiated by revolution of Earth resonance field, the final 26-year synchronization phase of the Great Cycle AD 1986 to 2012 corresponds to the movement from the 49 to 64. Once acceleration phases into synchronization harmonic convergence, the increased harmonic frequency of the planetary fields translates into a speeding up which is almost timeless. The result is compensation of time through the final quarter stages of the generic keyboard. Conclusion: at number 64, adjacent to number 1, the joining of the alpha and omega, corresponding to passage from the synchronization beam 13.0.0.0.0 AD to 2012, the new heaven, the new earth, and entry into the galactic synchronization. But we may ask, amidst this profusion of numbers, were all the Maya in all of this? After all, what we are reading is a decoding of a multiple resonance systems which was left behind the Sulkin, the Mayan harmonic module. Yes, where are the Maya when the world is ready to cash in its chips? What are the prophecies connected with the numbers which, as we already saw in chapter 6, dovetail with the numbers of the book of Revelation? Is there a Mayan second coming or Mayan return? Is Kukulkan, Quetzalcoatl, Pacal Botan planning to check up on how things went once he and his galactic consorts finished their harmonic calibration on Earth? The third harmonic gyroscope out of the local star, the sun? Here's some pictures. Some cosmic suffers that the ancient Maya were and are, we cannot presume to know either the full capacities for what we call intermediate travel, or the whereabouts. True, the shamans of highland Guatemala, the day keepers as they called, Keep the tradition, the knowledge that binds the lightning in the blood to the harmonic flow of the galactic wisdom. A few like Humbat's men and Domingo Paredes translate that wisdom for us, while still others gather with the medicine people of the Americas for last telling of the passage between worlds. But these are remnant, the noble few who kept the beacon of incomprehensible timeless aflame in the heart. Where are those whom dubbed the Galactic Masters, or doubt the Galactic Masters? What may we say of them following their departure at the end of the Bactum 9? Or are their presence already here among us, the faithful day towards the harmonic coverage march relentlessly? While we move forward, are the Maya coming back from the future on the return to Vuja, ready to assist us in the playing out of the final cartoon of the great cycle? If the Sulkin is clue a cosmic calling card left for planet of humanoids, are there other clues elsewhere in the solar system? Maybe. The two chiefs planet referring the great, all-encompassing the Mayan harmonic numbers 13, 66, and 560 are Venus and Mars. While our space probe show Venus so closely associated with Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan, to possess a dense, vaporous, cloud-filled atmosphere too thick to see through the bottom, Mars was waiting with at least one distinct clue: the face of Mars. A massive humanoid face looking skyward, or a kilometer and a half long. The fact that the face is looking straight up in the heavens is uncanny, and leaves the intermediate impression that it was executed precisely for those like ourselves, blundering into the universe with our nature conquiring pride and rocket-propelled sense devices. Though the face was encountered on July 25, 1976, an even more uncanny clue shot through the Maya Suvaya of the sky trickery was the unexpected proposal for a monumental sculpture a mile away, I'm making my own stuff here, a mile wide, and it's been built on a face looking skyward, to be entitled "The Sculpture to be Seen from Mars." Uncanny, because the sculpture was proposed 29 years prior to the Viking probe in 1947, the year of the UFO by Japanese-American artist Isamu Noguchi. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm back. The coincidences, synchronicities of the most profound sorts involved in coming to the term with the face of Mars and Noguchi's sculpture to be seen from Mars are far too vast for the rational mind to comprehend, too immense for the little hook of scientific materialism to grasp, too inscrutable to be contained by the paltry net of the doctrine of the non-prevalence of humanoids in the universe. But from within the resonant code of the Maya, masters of light and galactic travel, synchronizers of the wave fractal that mobilizes molecules and engineers planets according to the same index. The face of Mars, the sculpture to be seen from Mars, and yes, the chevron of oval markings of Uranian moon, Miranda, are all of a piece, nodes in a resonant intergalactic web activated neon moon. Activated only by the mind wise enough to surrender to the old paradigm and accept a new in unconditional terms. I can't see what I'm showing you guys. So it says face of Mars, technology and transformation. So yeah, be a little closer. So Pacal Botan and the holders of the lineage of Quetzalcoatl of old and beyond foresaw all of this, instantaneously releasing themselves through a chromomolecular transport into the farther reaches of the galaxy whence they had come. The Mayan sages, nonetheless, also prepared for a return. When? Well, most certainly during the last of this 52-year galactic activation Catuns, AD 1992 to 2012. The Catun signifies as 13 Ahau, the most exalted number, the sign of the solar mastery. But even in the immediate present, the return is imminent, for the moment soon arrive when the wave engendered by Christians figureheads, Cortes, in 1815-19, will return around. The moment in August 16 through 17 of 1987, called harmonic convergence, August 16 through the 17, 1987, Kin 1863022 and 1863023, is the first Mayan return entry point, a temporal planetary tolen, and which time in presence will be perceived by some as the inner light, by others as feather serpent rainbow, wheels turning into the air. Accompanying the resonant frequency shift, the luminous waves from forms of Quetzalcoatl will re-enter the atmosphere, signifying the commencement of the phase shift, when the rate of acceleration exponentially phases into synchronization. Harmonic convergence will not only signal the return of Quetzalcoatl, but the elimination of Armageddon as well. To some, it may be even as another Pentecost and second coming of Christ. Amidst spectacle, celebration, and urgency, the mental house will dissolve activations to return of long dormant archetypal memories and impressions. Synchronized with the descendant of the new mental house, these return memories and impressions corresponding to actual collective archetypal structures will saturate the field and create the impulse towards the new order and lifestyle. The chief feature of the return memories is the theme of the return itself, not just the return of Christ and Quetzalcoatl, but the return of all gods and goddesses, heroes and heroines that have ever dwelt within the human imagination. For myth is no less real than history, and what is called the imagination is the function of the resonant structure called mind, and is not the same mind of ours that we hold responsible for science and for myths. For the Mayan Suvuya, mental event, memory, and actual happening are the nodes in the same circuit. What some could call sacred geometry and others deep psychology are unified by their being informed by the same resonant structure. In this regard, Plato and Pythagoras, Giod and Jung are numbered among the Maya, as are all those who readily accept the doctrine of harmony in whatever form it has been transmitted to them. The Maya return harmonic coverage is the re-impregnation of the planetary field with the archetypal harmonic experiences of the planetary whole. This re-impregnation occurs through the internal precipitation, as long suppressed psychic energies overflow its channels. And then, as shall learn again, all the archetypes we need are hidden into the clouds, not just as poetry, but actual reservoirs of resonant energy. This archetypal energy is energy of galactic activation, steaming through us more unconsciously than consciously, operating of harmonic frequency. The galactic energy naturally seeks those structures resonant with it. These structures correspond to the bioelectrical impulses connecting the sense fields to actual nodes of behavior. The impulses are organized into the primary geometric structures that are experienced through an immediate events, whether it be environmental or clouds seen by naked eye, or the airy pulsation of the quasar received through the assistance of the radio telescope. As the acknowledgement of our responsibility as humans of this planet reaches a crisis mass, the moment of archetypal overflow will be triggered, releasing the feeders of the old paradigm and imprinting the new upon a critical mass of human in one movement of resonant baptism. Then the past, the forgotten, and yes, even the what is to come, will become conscious. The return is actually making conscious of what has been storing up, and at the same time an increase in knowing. We shall see the events which all pilgrims refused to acknowledge had been turned into form of fear of our mind. In that fresh moment of seeing harmonic convergence, we shall know that fear no longer, for its consciousness is light. I love that. This is what meant by the return of Quetzalcoatl. For others, this moment will be a vision of feather rainbow serpent wheels turning into the air 144,000, predicted by the prophecy of the Suvuja, combined with the natural conditions of things at the moment. A new seal will be born into that ill-fated creature, 20th century man. Though this seal, a signal shall come tumbling forward, releasing from the matrix a campaign for the earth, the opportunity for human self-redemption. The campaign for the earth is the plan or design for the transit for one mental house to the next. By AD 1992, the plan initiated on harmonic convergence will have stabilized the next stabilize the world through by no means shall everything be tame, like a gyroscope having gone into the temporary wobble and then restabilizing, so Earth on track once again will chart its elliptical wave around the sun, inspired and illuminate as a mobilized consciousness in a resonance with itself and within the membranal walls of its solar system. Earth will be but a single synchronization away from entry into the Galactic Federation. As the initial move back towards the center, evolution streams from which plumb line the late industrial civilization represents a notable aberration. The campaign for the earth will be activated by archetypal characters, humans playing out of impressions reimprinted by galactic frequencies on harmonic coverage. Not only that, but many humans will learn that they are planning out variations of this same imprinting. Common memory will possess the planet once again. Chief among the returning common archetypal memories and impressions will be those of King Arthur and the King of Shambhala. The archetypal's resonance call for a circle, a round table of 12 knights and a king, the magic 13 once again, the restore of the kingdom of Avalon. Avalon is earth, and the kingdom is our conscious resonance stewardship of this fair earth. As a clan pledge of the warriorhood, the knights of the round table will be reborn, and willingness to mobilize and sacrifice one's behalf of the cause of the earth, which is the cause of the light. All the true warriorhood is bound by service to light. So I guess you can call those light workers, right? While their Arcturian round table recapitulates the Mayan 13, the myth of Shambhala, the mystic kingdom of the Central Asia, is an echo of the 9 lords of the galactic destiny, the Mayan lords of time, called in Tibet the 9 great La. The kingdom of Shambhala itself is the 9 of the central features in Bali, surrounded by 8 great mountains. Its inhabitants, inspired by the teachings of Kalachatra, Tantra. I'm gonna highlight that. I need to look into that. Kalachakra Tantra. The wheel of time receives through their kings. All attain to a condition of collective enlightenment, whence there's no longer visible upon earth. But according to the teachings, but according to the teachings left behind, and return is promised to right the world of the scourge of the three lords of materialism. This return is in the form of release of a collective archetypal known as warriors of Shambhala. The purpose of the return is to establish the kingdom of Shambhala on earth. But then, how different is this from the return of Avalon, from the injunctions of Christ regarding entry in the kingdom of heaven, or the return of Quetzalcoatl to restore the new reign of the 13 heavens? Each archetypal variation is strung out like bead of insight upon the Mayan Suvaya. A multiple resonant myths open the gate to reality that is profound, interdimensional. And one little, and then we'll be over with chapter 7. Yay! Here, you can see that picture. It says, Galactic Round of 13 with monogram of Kalachakra and the wheel. So the great return of the harmonic convergence then is like an awakening from a cultural trance. This is an opportunity for all to engage the Mayan Factor, and in a word, to receive the galactic imprint. Though at first we do not appear to be Mayan, by the time we reach the momentum of galactic synchronization, our way of life shall be every regard as a modeling after the lifestyle of the Maya, who preceded us in Central America. Only we shall find ourselves as a planetary Maya, possessing a brilliantly simple and sophisticated technology based on the matching of the solar and the psychic frequencies which harmonize the ratio of these sense fields. Creating a non-polluting technology, we shall allow ourselves to sustain comfortably in small bioregional groups, strung together as information nodes, as communication systems that has finally dispensed with wires. And lastly, availing ourselves of the leisure time to which our genetic hardware had originally disposed us, we shall collectively come to know one, known as one. In that knowing, our life shall pass in the greater life. The mystery of the unknown, which has always beaconed us by the light and is contained into its question, will expand us into levels of being and knowing on dream of by strive-worn ego of the old mental house. As the index of the rate of the planetary acceleration, technology will indeed have transformed itself. Through synchronization, this transformation will show us that with all of our bioelectromagnetic hardware and the galactic light body programming, it is we ourselves, Maya, return, who in our bodies are the best and most sophisticated technology there is. We are the path beyond technology. Wow. And see, chapter 8. So this is very interesting. Chapter 8 says is the coming of the solar age. So anyways, I know it was a little bit long and whatever. So I hope you guys learned something. Yeah, to me it was, Jose Arguelles, he wrote this book in August of 1987. So a lot of the stuff that he was talking back then is happening now, with all these different archetypals of people and light workers and stepping up and raising the vibration, all of it is happening. And from reading this book, I'm coming to understanding that everything got set into motion on 2012. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. I'll start reading chapter 8 soon, so stay tuned for more. We're almost there. All right, you guys, I love you, and in Lakesh. Bye bye.